Rock Stars? Itsrox, and I am coming to you today with a review for Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 3, Episode 6. Maybe Episode 7, you guys. I'm going crazy trying to remember all these episodes in my brain. But anyway, let's get to it, shall we? All right, so you guys, the show opens with Trina and Joy trying to figure out what exactly is going on with Trick Daddy. So you guys know last week he got pulled over. And it's so funny how the show has actually caught up with the current times. I mean, that just happened when I took Jada back to school to start the spring semester. And that probably was January 13th. I think that was the day. It was around that time. So here we are, not even, just a little bit over a month later, and they're already talking about what just happened. So the show is actually currently filming while it's coming onto the TV. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, Joy says that he has lupus. That's already hard for him to accept, Then she was heartbroken to see people on social media teasing him about his appearance. But evidently he was self-medicating, taking drugs and drinking, not really taking his lupus seriously, just all of that. So they feel like they got to do something to help Mr. Trick Daddy. So what we need is an intervention. But how do we do this? And she says, well, I don't know, but Trick is definitely in a dark place. Trina says, girl, I agree. He needs to be an advocate for lupus. That's how serious he needs to take this. But right now he's not doing that. So Joy and Trina both are trying to figure out how they can help Trick. Now we see Trick, and he's his regular cantankerous self. He's talking to the producers in the one-on-one, and he's telling them how he ain't talking about shit. Now everybody know he was arrested, but he is not fixing to get up on this damn show and be telling all his business and making his case even worse. So he not talking about the arrest. He not talking about getting pulled over, no handcuffs, nothing what happened. In the jail, nothing, none of his case. Did you guys get that? The producer said, well, we heard what you said, but that ain't really what we doing today. We talking to the producers again. Hell, they need to be part of the cast at this point. Can you guys be in the opening credits? But whatever, Trina and Joy, they go and bum rush the show up at his restaurant. Alvin tries to stop them. They ain't paying no attention to Alvin. Where's Trick? Okay, he back there in the kitchen, but you can't go back there. Anyway, they go back there. He telling them that he's fine. Y'all didn't even have to come here. You didn't even have to do this. They want to know what happened. He ain't telling them what happened. He says he was asleep in the car and somebody knocked on the window, and that's that. So as far as Trick say, he wasn't even driving. And that could be very well be true, because as long as you are behind the wheel and you're drunk, and your car can be parked, they can still give you a DUI because the intention to drive was there. You may have either just stopped driving or you about to take off driving. Okay, so they can still give you the DUI. That's why maybe when you drunk and you shouldn't be driving and you need to sleep it off, get your ass in that back seat. Okay, then they won't give you a DUI. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. They want him to get treatment. He don't need treatment. He keep on telling them he's fine. Well, why don't you want treatment, Trick? He feels like if he goes to treatment, they gonna treat his alleged drug problem with more drugs. Next thing you know, he might be addicted to the shit that they give him. So how does that help him in the long run? Them drugs have side effects, okay? He might even get pregnant by Joy was like, you're not even taking this seriously. Well, Trick don't even want to talk to Joy in front of Trina. So, he asked Trina, can he talk to Joy alone? And Trina leaves. And Trick was just like, look, I don't want you to be feeling sorry for me. And Joy was like, I don't feel sorry for you. I want you to get your shit together. People are rooting for you. People want you to win. He was like, oh, so you care now. And she was just like, oh my God. Do you really want me to say it? Okay, is this the reason why you going through all of this? Just so you can hear me say, fine. Yes, I do care. But I don't know why I even have to say that to you. Well, Trick wants Joy back. I don't even know if Trick wants Joy. He just don't want Joy to be with him. I don't know what's going on there, but them two have the strangest little relationship. But right now it's all about getting Trick's health together. So stop all of this drugging and drinking and knowing that he's sick. Now, we see Bucky in her hair. She says she's doing this for her sister, Amara La Negra. She's going to sit down with Jojo. All she can hope is that Jojo is going to own up to her bullshit. Now, when Jojo shows up there, she's all smiles. And The meeting starts off okay. At least as far as Jojo is concerned. Bucky and her hair look like she got one finger on the trigger. She still got an attitude. And of course the music is all tense, so it's all serious and all of that. Well, we know what the problem was. Bucky and her hair had a problem that she was dating Pleasure P, because she and Jojo was friends, and she had to find out, just on the streets, that Jojo was dating Pleasure P. All right. That shit bothered her. She felt like she was being disrespectful to her friendship and her former relationship with Pleasure P. Jojo was just like, well, see, this is the whole thing. It wasn't even all that. I never even had sex. So I said, oh, now it wasn't all that. Last season, you put 20 on 10 the way you was fighting over the nigga. And now you telling us, oh, it wasn't even all. I said, girl, okay, you can rewrite history if you want to. Even though we knew it wasn't all that, but that's not how you was acting, is what I'm saying. Bucky and her hair was like, you was going so hard for him and he treated you like shit. He talked about you bad. He texted me and said that he didn't even care about you. Look, read it right here on my phone. Okay, this is the shit that he was saying about you while you was throwing away our friendship. So Jojo reads that. She realizes she made a mistake, but she's also saying Bucky and her hair had hurt her, did some things that she felt was uncalled for. Okay, that's the Angry Bird situation. You guys remember when Bucky and her hair jumped on her and pulled her wig off? And, Bucky and her hair was like, I'm sorry, I was hurt, and she was mad. Okay, so they can agree that they both did and said some things, but you know what? Neither one of them are even with Pleasure P anymore. That turned out to be a bust for both of them. So why are we still fighting? They both agree that they was tripping. They both apologized to each other. And now Bucky and her hair and Jojo are best good girlfriends again. All right, you guys. And then we see Amara La Negra. And you guys know Amara La Negra is now her own manager. So she is at an event that Boost Mobile is going to sponsor for her. And she is talking to the stage people. I need lights. I want electricity. I want fire. I want flames. I want like Beyonce. I said, girl, not quite like Beyonce, but we get what you say. Beyonce is not sponsored by Boost. Can you help her? They tell her that they definitely can help her with that. She's there with MJ. I guess MJ is her support team now, not necessarily her manager, but he gonna have to do, y'all. But and why were those two dressed alike? I was like, are you guys the fucking Bopsy twins? But when she's walking out, she's telling them how stressed she is because my father called me, and even though we had a bad relationship, he's still her father. Okay, evidently the father has prostate cancer. He's reached out for whatever reason. She wants to try to forge a new relationship with him. The problem is her mother. She knows that her mother is going to be really mad about it. Well, MJ tells her that he knows that his father was not around for them when they were kids, and it affected him. He feels like every child should have access to both of their parents, if that is possible. And so he feels like it's a good thing that she's trying to have a relationship with her father, if that's what she chooses to do. But you still got to deal with the mama. MJ is just hoping that the dad has good intentions. So you guys, we're not going to joke about this. I'm not going to give you guys my Amara La Negra. I thought for sure I was going to give you guys a telenovela today. I mean, I was all prepared. I had recorded it and everything. And then as I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is serious. And one thing that my family has they fucked up ways, just like everybody else's family has they shit, right? But one thing I've never had to deal with is the absence of a parent. So when people I don't know what that feels like to not have a parent around. So I don't like to joke about shit that, is not a joking matter to a lot of people. So that's why we're going to keep it serious today. But I was ready. What we can talk about was that fucking decoration in Amara La Negra's. What is going on there, you guys? It is so horrid. It is horrendous. It is a whole bunch of velvet and gold spray paint and, a lot of all of this ornate shit. I was just like, it's like somebody had like a thought of having a Versace-esque type home, and then they went to their homeboy house and was like, can you make something that looked like this? That shit was horrible. I mean, it's terrible. But everybody in my Twitter tells me that is the decor of the Dominican elderly. She is stressed because she's trying to plan out this whole concert situation, and her mom comes in the room. Okay, and so she's telling her, you know, she needs this, she needs that. She got to make sure that the DJ is there. She got to make sure that her dancers is there. She got to make sure that, you know, everything is, you know, cross the T's and dot the I's. And the mom tells her, you know, I'll be there to help you in whatever way that I can. And she says, no, Mom, all you got to do is be my mother. But I got to tell you something, you know, promise me that you won't get mad. The mom was like, it depends on what it is. I said, that is a mother type of answer. Don't get me boxed up in nothing. She says that her father called her. And, you know, the mom was just like, You know, she wants to talk to the mom, to the dad and possibly have a relationship. And the mom was just like, no, he hasn't been around all this time. So then Amara La Negra was just like, well, Mom, he has prostate cancer. And, you know, she just feels like maybe she should try to make this work. And the mom was like, look, your father never helped us. I used to reach out to him, tell him we needed help. She said he would humiliate me. I mean, it was times when we were even hungry. He would not try to be there at all. Now, all of a sudden, he gets to have access to you because you're Amara La Negra. That's the only reason why he wants to talk to you now. Well, Amara La Negra doesn't see it that way. And even if he does, she can't go back in time about what happened. All she can do is move forward. But she tells her mom that she doesn't want to be like her. You know, I don't want to be alone with my child. Okay, I want my child to have both of their parents. I don't want my child to have to suffer the same way that I have with you. And I don't want you to, you know, so she's trying to tell her mom she don't want her life to be the same way that her mother's life turned out. Okay, not that MJ is going to do that to her, but still. And I was like, ooh. I mean, that was real blunt, but that's what she meant. Like, I don't want this for me. And the mom was like, listen, you do what you want to do. But what I'm telling you is he does not deserve to even be around you. He has never tried to be there for you. Never. So he doesn't deserve you at all. But that's what, if you feel like that's what you want to do, mama say she can't be a part of it. And she walked off. And I was like, well, that was a real enough conversation. And you really can't be mad at the mama at all. The mother and the daughter are two very different relationships that would have with the fathers, you know, versus the husband or the baby father. You know, the dynamics is different. So everybody has a right to feel the way that they feel. Now, the day of the event, it's pouring down, raining. Okay, it ain't starting off all that cool. Amara La Negra is getting ready in the back, and she asked MJ if her father was there, and he said that he didn't see him. So she's starting to get a little worried, like, damn, I done already told my mom that he's coming, and then if he doesn't show up, then, you know, it's gonna be sort of like I told you so, you shouldn't even have said nothing to him in the first place kind of thing. So she's kind of now built up her hope that her father will be there. But the show must go on. So she goes out on stage. We see Jojo there. We see Bucky and her hair there. And did you guys see when Bucky and her hair introduced Jojo to MJ, and Jojo said, oh, I met you once before a long time ago, and MJ act like he didn't know nothing about it. I was like, okay, now what's this gonna be? Because if y'all was texting, you should at least remember who she is. Okay, it wasn't that long ago. So I was just like, I guess we'll talk about that at another time. But whatever, the show gets going, and it's not quite Beyonce, like I said, but you know, it's Amara La Negra. She did her rum bum bum, you know, song, and whatever. While she's up there performing, her father actually walks in. She looks exactly like her father. So I like, okay, that's him. And she does eventually see him while she's performing. So she's very happy. So when her performance is over and she's thanking everybody for coming, you know, she thanks her friends, she thanks her mother, and then she thanks her father. Did you guys see the mother's face? She was just like, that no good Negro. So then we see Bucky and her hair and Jojo. They had a good time. Girl, I missed you. Okay, so they friends again. I never remembered them being really close anyway, but whatever. But then, you guys, we saw, this was the scene that made me be like, okay, Roxanne, no joking about Amara La Negra this week. Again, I had all the smirks and everything when Amara La Negra walked up to that father. But as soon as I saw the hesitation, like she didn't know what to do when she walked up to him. Like, is it okay that I hug him? Is he going to receive me that way? I just saw a little girl. I was just like, oh my God, this is like, I'm about to start crying. You got, not right now, but when I was watching it last night. So she walks up to him and she says, she just pours it all out immediately. She tells him, thank you for coming. He says, okay, because he doesn't speak English. So she thanks him for coming. And then she said, I had talked to my mom and told her that you were coming. And, my mom was afraid that, you were going to just come just to leave again. You're not going to do that, are you? And he said, no. And she says, well, she just always thought about when she was little, how, she was a good daughter and she was a good person. And why didn't he want her? And he was just like, I always wanted you. I just didn't have my papers. Okay. Well, I don't really, they haven't been real clear on what the situation is here. So I'm not sure if the dad is telling the truth 100% or, there's probably some variations to this story that will come about. But she was just going on and on saying how she just missed him and she felt like she needed him in her life and all of that. And he said, oh, I do love you. And you guys, the look on her face. Oh, when she asked him, what did she do? And he said, you didn't do anything. I always loved you. You know that. Well, she didn't know that. She wanted so much to have this moment with her father, and the way she was looking. I mean, I just saw a little girl. And when she hugged him and she just was crying, and I was just like, oh my God, I am really having a moment, because you guys, I can't imagine not having a relationship with my mom or my dad, So I felt, it tugged on every one of my heartstrings, you guys. He said he couldn't get his papers. He couldn't get to her. Right now, we're just going to go with that, you guys. I'm not going to try to down the dad and say he lying or anything. Okay. There has to be way more to that story. But right now, all Amada La Negra wanted to know was that he was not going to leave her again. You're not going to do that again, are you? And he said, no, dear. Okay. And she just, all of the wide eye, watery face, like of a little girl. I was just like, oh, I felt so bad for her, you guys. But she seems to be happy, just in this moment at least. We'll see if they have more scenes with her father and her mom, so we can really get down to the bottom of this story. But yeah, you guys, I just was so touched. I was so touched for her. I gotta hurry up and get off of here. All right, you guys, and then lastly, I wrote down 3 the hard way, and then it was funny to me that when Chameleonaire, is that her name? Chameleon, or is it Chameleonaire? Whichever one it is, Hood, Brad, and Suki, when they sat down to discuss this tour, okay, they just trying to get it together. Like, what's going to be the name of the tour? We got to get a road manager, where exactly do they even start? All right, well, what's going to be the name of the tour? Okay, and Chameleon, what is it, Chameleonaire or is it Chameleon? Whichever one it is, she said 3 the hard way, and I laughed. I was like, that's exactly what I said. But then they came up with the BAPS tour, and I said, yes, that is the perfect name. Okay, so we getting excited about it, aren't we? Well, everybody is but Suki. Suki get to crying. Girl, what's the matter? Suki says that she just, all this time and money away from her children. She got kids. And I was like, what is, you going on the tour because you trying to get the money to be there for the, I guess I can understand why she would, she's just frustrated, obviously. She said that it was a time when her and her kids struggled, like didn't have money to eat or anything. So even though they don't remember that, she don't never want to go back to that. So, she just, I guess, feeling a little discouraged. But you guys, we in this together. It's the BAPS. It's going to work. I said, oh, don't cry, pussy asshole. She just knows she's missing her kids, working so hard, and she's going to be on this tour and she's going to miss them more. So, I got it. And speaking of the kids, Hood Brat goes to see her sister. Now, her sister's not in the projects anymore. It just so happened that she's moved out of the projects into this nice home. Okay, but the sister is a single mom. She has kids of her own, and then she's taken on King and Queen, which is Hood Brat's sister that killed herself, her kids. So the sister that has everybody, she's stressed out. Okay, long fucking story short, sis is tired. All right. And while Hood Brat is telling her that she's trying to go on this tour, that she's trying to make sure that she can get the money together so that she can help more, the sister was like, look, it ain't even about the money at this point. Okay, I need some fucking time. I said, I can imagine, because just my 2 kids used to wear me the fuck out, So when you start talking about all these other kids that's involved in, that you just adding one child can change up the dynamics in the house. So you add 2 more kids to an already stressed and strained, household. The sis was like, I'm trying to do the best that I can, but I need you to come get these fucking kids sometimes. And Hood Brat says, I understand, and you doing a really good job, and just hold off just a little bit longer, because I'm trying to make it happen. I mean, I really like Hood Brat. I don't know what it is. I tell you guys all the time, I feel like I'm a good judge of character, and she's just one of them ones that even though she's shown another side, I like her for whatever reason. So, she's telling her, just hold on, I'm trying to make it happen. But then she starts crying when she's talking about a conversation she had with her sister saying, if something happens to me, will you take my kids and all of this? So, I mean, it's really it's emotional and it's sad, because at the end of the day, you got 2 little kids that didn't ask to be here, I don't know where the daddy is. The mama has killed herself. These kids are just kind of out there. You don't want them to be taken into the system. So the family has to struggle to make sure that they take care of them. And that's already straining everything. I can understand what the sister means. I can understand what Hood Brat means. I just really hope that it all works out for her, because she seems to be a good person. So the sister tries to just stop Hood Brat from crying, tells her that she is proud of her. I know you trying to make it happen on this tour. Can you go and hurry up and do it and get this money so that you can maybe take these kids? Okay. So I was actually touched. This episode actually touched me in quite a few ways. Y'all, I know I'm a wimp, but that's just how it was. Let me get out of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm Itsrox. The channel's for Itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.